Good greetings, Rusty Dog here. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. We seem to have a hive of activity here at the moment. Okay, so we are currently at Malaga Airport on the Costa del Sol in Spain, and we have the Piper Arrow PA-28 Turbo 4 and the plane coming in. Royal Air Morocco, so yeah, Morocco, and Ryanair on its way out by the looks of it. So yeah, we're busy. Let's get inside the plane. So today we're going to be taking a look at the new scenery that's recently been released in the last few days of Gibraltar. A scenery that was released by RDPresets, who very kindly let me have a review copy. So we're going to be taking a good look. We're going to be flying down to Gibraltar from Malaga here. Should be around a 45-minute flight in this plane, and once we get there, hopefully we'll have an incident-free journey, and then we'll take a look at the airport and a few of the sites around the rock. Now, I've lived on the Rock of Gibraltar for 30 years, and I moved away a few years ago, and I have a good knowledge of its layout, how it looks. It's all in my head. I'm not going to forget 30 years. So we'll give it a quick look around and see what it's like. So why don't we start things rolling? I've got a flight plan already put in place. Very simple flight plan. There's only like a couple of waypoints to get to on the way. Of course, PMOS on the way in is a very typical one for Gibraltar, because that's the one you'll be coming in on basically the whole time. Yeah, we'll be coming in on PMOS because that's the waypoint that gets us turned onto the runway, or lined up with the. So, all right. So I think got that. We need to put the fuel on, which I believe. God, it's been a little while since I'm sure it's down here. Not sure. Oh, no, it's no. I've just looked at it. I was wondering. Yeah, there. I just looked at it, and then I'm wondering where the fuel is. Get in tune, Rusty. Get in tune. All right. So let's just bring these up so we can clearly see what's going on. No. And set full fuel. Now, fuel to get down there. I think we have enough. I believe we should have around half a tank or something like that. So let's wait for it to get the GPS. So we've got half a tank, both wings, so we should be good. If that's not enough, well, I don't know what. Okay, so it looks like it's acquiring. Yes. I'm just going to auto set the air pressure. Okay, there it is. So we are going to be departing. There we are. We're going to be kind of looping around here onto the runway and departing straight out that way. We'll have a look and see if the flight plan is filed. It is. Departing runway 31, hitting waypoint GM, and then we make a sharp turn and we go straight down till we hit PMOS, and then we'll make a turn over to. So should be very interesting. If I don't fly this plane fully correct, worry too much about it. A lot of it's probably going to be on a wing and a prayer. Don't want to do that. Okay, right, so while that's doing that, I'm going to turn this on anyway. I think I don't need to be on that one. Let's just turn this on. This is our VOR. Now the first waypoint, which is GM, just going to have a quick look at the Navigraph charts, see if there's any information on that. So, flying out, let's take a look at just gonna quickly check something. Right, so it looks like the GM is a beacon at 350. So switch. Quite sure which to put onto anyway. I think ADF. Do these two do the same? Yeah. So 3, 5, 0. Then turn up the volume. Whether we'll actually hear anything is another matter. We're not really flying on VOR. So I'm just going to follow the flight plan anyway. So regardless of anything, that's just the way we're going. All right, so let's get the fuel pump onto low. I won't bother these lights. Has been a I did this. Right, so it looks like we're good to go. So I used to fly this plane quite fairly regular, I would say. Whenever I wanted to fly a small plane, this would kind of be my little go-to plane that I would pick. And I've always liked it. It's always been a really nice plane to fly. And I did actually use it on a tutorial, well, kind of a tutorial video, where I was talking about flying VOR to VOR. And I actually did a flight from Gloucester in the UK to London, and then from London City Airport, I think it was, we went to Jersey, and then we landed somewhere in France. I can't remember exactly where it was, but anyway, we ended up in Spain. Quite sure the airport of which where we landed either, but it's on my channel. Just search for VOR. I'm sure to find it, I would say. I thought I was following that little. I was right. Sorry, I was following those little green dots, but yeah, we're right. Okay. So I think we're ready to just shoot off. Let's go. I always get it the wrong way. Right, so we do have a little bit of pull. and up she goes, pretty much doing it on her own. Oh, climbing like a beauty here. So we've been instructed then, at least by the flight plan, just fly straight ahead, even though Gibraltar is not in this direction. We're kind of flying sort of northwesterly, and we need to be going south. I'm going to pick it up to probably around 2,000 feet or something like that. It should be sufficient. There she goes. Very, very nice. And we've had a bit of a performance boost with update 12. I mean, I'm hitting 60 frames per second right now. And I can even hit 40s and 50s in the jets. I've even heard of people upping their settings to ultra, everything on ultra, in order to get better frame rates. So Malaga Tower is 124780. I probably should have done that earlier, because I can never locate the damn buttons here. You see, I'm fiddling around. By the time I've got the thing worked out, I'm probably going to crash it. So it's 124780. Should be picking up. Oh no, we need to swap it. There we go. We have radio. I'll just get myself back on track now. So we're a bit higher than 2,000 feet, but I think we need to be due to the mountains. Approaching VNAV profile. Thank you. So what we're looking at here is the GM. Now we have to turn. So where's the other part of the flight plan? Keeping that secret. Scenery looks gorgeous. We're around 6:30 in the afternoon. A little bit bumpy. There's PMOS. It hasn't put a line between GM and PMOS though. So I guess we're having to... I don't know the frequency for it either. I'm just gonna do my best to follow it. So what I want to do here is start trimming the plane out, but also rather than go over that mountain, I want to just try and fly just through this part here. As long as you follow the coast down, we're not going to go too far wrong when it comes to getting to Gibraltar. And in the very far background, right at the horizon there, you will see Morocco, Africa. So we are currently looking at two different continents. I'm just trying to get the plane trimmed so I'm not constantly pushing down on the joystick to keep the plane level. adjusting this dial. I'm just trying to get it in the 9 o'clock position. Try and hold it there. So it wants to go up a little at the moment. See, on the flight plan it doesn't give me like a heading that I can see. Well, is it? Oh, it is. 212, right? Yeah, 212. And we're just about there anyway. We're at 21 something. Yeah, so we're right. We're good. The idea of getting to PMOS, of course, is when we turn onto 270 degrees, we'll be lined up nicely with the old runway. So we're up at around, what, 4,000 feet. That's about right. A little bit bumpy out here, though. Now, I could get the autopilot just to hold the altitude, but this whinging about. Bring the mixture down a little, and also the color revs. Give ourselves a bit more efficiency. See, I'm not very good at looking down at the dials and then keeping the plane straight. I guess I'm too used to autopilot. Got some gorgeous views out here though. This is very, very nice. Look at this. Beautiful. Worth a screenshot. So let's see, autopilot is, we've got heading, and we've got autopilot on, and there is a hidden altitude hold. There we go. Wow, we managed to sink quite a bit, didn't we? Yeah, the altitude hold is here. It's a hidden switch because the actual real plane doesn't have altitude hold. And the heading, let's turn that mode off until I get the heading bug sorted out. And bring the heading bug round to round there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So now the autopilot has the plane, and we can take a look at the sights. It should be turning us back onto PMOS now. Any luck? Or back on, yeah, back onto head to PMOS. I actually think we need to turn just a little bit further, just to compensate for a little bit that we've missed. So down is in. I'm happy with this. It's not actually 200 degrees, but it's fine. Auto. So here we are on the coast. Probably, can't guarantee it, but maybe either Benalmadena, Torremolinos or Fuengirola this. I could tell you a little nav map. It is we're a bit further. Okay, we're a bit further north. Okay, so we're still north of Marbella. So yeah, Fuengirola is north of us. So yeah, we're north of Marbella, but we're south of Fuengirola. Ah, okay, I see what it's doing then. So we went over Elvira, El Rosario, Urbanación Marbella. So we're going to carry on just flying towards Africa here, Morocco. Looks like we have... Tell me that's the radio. Idea what that noise is. I have no idea what that is. Is that going to be an annoyance now? I don't think it's anything to do with this. This is a new thing for me, for this plane. Okay, it was the radio. I switched the radio off, it was that. Thank the Lord for that. So we're kind of heading towards Pimos, aren't we? Yeah, doing pretty well. And the plane has got the controls. Yeah, so Gibraltar's going to be, we're going to just be turning, we're at around between 200, 210 degrees, and then Gibraltar's at 270. We'll just be doing a bank to the right, and it'll take us straight on. What a beautiful time of the day to do this though. Calm waters as well. Really nice to see. Not a lot of shipping around here. Oh, we've got a couple. We've got a couple. 3 ships there. Another one there. And another one there. Ask and ye shall receive. Oh, and there's 2 more there. One there. One there. I don't know, I think this is a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing. This side-to-side yawing, or if it might be the autopilot maybe. But I've noticed on a lot of different planes, it's either pitching up and down, it's either bobbing up and down. We've got some tiling going on here on the water. Yeah, it's either bobbing up and down all the time, or it's like this, it's yawing. Just this constant, but again, this could be down to the autopilot constantly recorrecting. I don't know whether we got the rudder trimmed out, so it might be just constantly trying to correct for that. What we'll do when we get to Pimos is we'll just switch to a westerly direction, turn the heading bug and to the west, which is 27 degrees, 270 degrees, but for runway 27 in Gibraltar, yeah. So all looking good so far. Incident free at the moment, and as I say that, Got a little micro pause. The way it's shaking around though. So. Yeah, you can notice as well from certain altitudes a bit of tiling in the water. Repeated patterns, but then also you get these lines where the water's kind of being divided up almost. It certainly looks to me like when we turn for Gibraltar it's going to be we're going to have to put the sunshades down. It's going to be directly in our line of sight. Creeping up on it. Okay, I think we want to intercept this waypoint right there, and I think we're on course to do that. We should be coming in from this angle, but hey, we're still going to intercept it, and we're still going to make the turn. So I'm happy with it. Is that the audio for the ADF? Put it down. COM1 is, yeah. I don't know what frequency PMOS is on. Let's see if we can find out. Oh, it's nothing. Okay. PMOS is literally just a waypoint. And also, flying into Gibraltar with a passenger plane, don't think that you're going to have ILS and glide slopes or anything. Nope. RNAV. Oh, look at this wavy plane here. Yeah, no, it's just RNAV. Somewhere out here I've got some add-on scenery which puts a carrier, an aircraft carrier out. So this is Gibraltar then? It looks like, if it is, it looks like it's attached to this land here, but it actually really isn't. I'm going to back off the throttle just a tad. Get ready for this turn. Let's make the turn now. We want to go to 270. We're going to turn the heading bug. You can just see the orange heading bug here turning. We want to just get it to west. Now we're a little bit out. It's not great. Now we're lined up with Gibraltar there, but we're not perfectly lined up, so we need to make a small adjustment. Five degrees, I would say. Not quite sure why the altitude hold was disabled, but hey. We're not too low, but we'll get ourselves back on track here, and then we'll be good to go. So it's fairly common to see these type of ships, fishing ships, tankers and stuff like that out here. That's pretty normal. So there you have Europe and Africa, two continents, one eye shot. many places can you go where you're going to get that. I'm just going to make this plane turn a little bit more so that we can get on course quicker. If we were losing, if we lost the altitude hold on that turn that we did, I'm not quite sure. I don't see why. So yeah, this is Gibraltar here. But this is how it looks from a distance. It's going to look different when we get up close. Should we give him a wave? Yay! Oi! Where you going? Yeah, we are slightly too far off the runway. I'm going to make the turn a bit more then, because it seems to be struggling. I don't know if it's because of the wind. It seems to be struggling a little bit just to get back on this line. Well, let's just say it's taken its damn time. Supposed to be going at 270. Taking a little while to get on the line, but it looks like it's getting there. And then obviously once it does, switch it back. So the runway is actually bang on 270 degrees. It's not 271, it's not anything. It's dead on 270. Okay, so we're pretty well on that line, aren't we? And then there is Gibraltar. So now it's just a question of hopefully we're lined up with the runway nicely and we'll just be able to bring it in. So what we have here, this is Spain. Obviously this is the Bay of Algeciras. This will be the town of La Línea de la Concepción, to give it its full title. And then you have Morocco, Tangiers and Ceuta over here. So yeah, two continents, one view. And if you stand at the south of Gibraltar here, by the lighthouse, on a nice clear day, you'll see Africa. And of course you're going to see Spain anyway, but it's nice to just stand there and recognize that two land masses so close to each other, but they are recognized obviously as two different continents altogether. And I think if you don't like looking at those things, well, you must be incontinent. I think we're a little bit off to the right. I think it could be maybe the wind is just knocking us out just a tad. So I'm just seeing if we've got Gibraltar Tower. 131 200. we are, like, even though we're 5 degrees, the heading is 5 degrees more than we should be at. You can see we must have a wind. Can't see where the wind's coming from, but we must have a wind that is pushing us this way. I haven't checked the winds, but we'll just deal with it. So there's the runway. So I'm going to take off the altitude hold. Just bring the plane down a little.
We're waiting for a wind sound to fly over the top of us. It'll be about maybe 3 to 5 minutes.
Such a shaky flight, this. In case you're wondering, I think this is just some kind of water bug going on. I'm not quite sure what's happening there, like a little waterfall, but that's not there in reality. It's like I'm going to fly the rest of this in manually. And we're going to take autopilot off. And I'm going to try and bring her in manual. Because we're not lined up at all. And that line on the map is not lining up. That would have just crashed us into the rock. So I'm going to go flaps 1 now, just to cut some speed. I'm going to bring down the gears. Now we've got a sunken ship. Well, that's happened before. And it's happy lights are saying we're a bit too low. I would agree with that. I think we are. We'll try and keep it level now. And I think we're lined up. Does that work with the radar line? Seems to be. The radar line, the flight path line on the screen there. So I'll just stay at this altitude until the PAPI lights tell me that I'm okay. So we're looking for 2 whites, 2 reds, and then I can just aim it where I want to land it. There we go. Maps 2. Finally, flaps 3.
Bluetooth 5187, contact Park.
Wow, that was a wind blast. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens in reality.
traffic hold position while you arrive runway 27 left. I'll be holding position.
No cars crossing the runway.
Copy that, American 723 heading.
Now, here's the thing. This RDPresets scenery does have a launcher that you can launch before you, I guess essentially before you do the flight.
513, runway 35, line up and wait, traffic short file.
And it allows you to, let me just switch the radio frequency. And it allows you to choose any of the major airlines or airplanes, PMDG 737. You've got the fly-by-wire, which I think it defaults to that one, and also the Phoenix, and there's a few others. Just grab it. But yeah, it's the RDPresets Gibraltar configurator. You've got the PMDG 738, which I'm assuming will work on all of them. The Mad Dog, the Just Flight BAE 146, the FSS, I guess this is the Mbaba 175195, the Phoenix A320, default planes, and then default is fly-by-wire and LVR A320X. And we have Aerosoft CRJ, so it can be configured, and the reason you configure those separately is so that when you put on your strobe light, it stops the traffic, and then when you turn off the strobe light, the traffic can freely flow. We are where the cars would be held up. It doesn't seem to be traffic, which, because Gibraltar is very traffic heavy at any time of the day. So we'll get ourselves taxied off the runway. And go where the little planes can go. Airways. I'm making a dog's dinner of this, aren't I? Sticking to the taxiways. I'm actually not sure which is my my parking here. I think the little planes get to go over here. I'm just going to park it up. Wait. I think it's in here. This is where I'm to go, regardless. Okay. Welcome to Gibraltar, everybody. So, construction going on there. Yep. Completely believable. And there's the airport looking very good. Very good rendition of it. And there is the rock. Now I will say the rock, let me just turn off the lights here. The modeling of the rock itself does need a little bit of attention because it's not really, you see all these rocks like very bulbousy rocks, it's not really like this. There's a lot of flat areas and sharper bits. You do get the occasional bits like here where it is, sorry, there you do get the occasional bits like this, but these bulbousy parts not really representative of rock. Yeah, maybe just a little work needs doing on the north face here in terms of or how lumpy it looks. And it's more noticeable when you go around the western side here. Having said that though, if we adjust the time so we get a bit more daylight. Now, this view, if I just forget about the bulbousness of the rock here, this view is extremely familiar. I mean, I'm looking at it, and to me, like, some of these buildings are very well done. Let me just see if I can get into draw here. There we go. There we go, we got it. So, I am guessing it's because we don't have a strobe light to turn on and off. But there's no traffic going across the runway. Normally, there'd be cars crossing, cars, buses, all sorts. I've got all the lights turned off. So shouldn't be a problem. But if you're here with an Airbus or a Boeing, you do get the free-flowing traffic. So let's take a look at what we see here. Now, another good thing, this is nothing to do with Gibraltar itself, but the planes you see here have been injected via fly-by-wire's FS LTL program. And as of today, as far as I know, the only planes flying out of Gibraltar are EasyJet and British Airways. So this is bang on. Okay, so let's take a look at RDPresets Gibraltar scenery. This is the airport itself. This is the new airport. I say new, it's a number of years old, but it's a new build essentially. And you can see there's people walking there. I've actually walked out of that gap myself to get on a plane to come here. And yeah, there's the building. So I remember being up here waiting, and this, yeah, it really does look, I've sat in those chairs. Yeah, this is, I can't confirm whether those are the lights, but this interior is pretty much what I remember. Yeah, the way the seats are arranged, everything is spot on. And then we would come, I remember coming down the stairs, out the exit here, and then onto the EasyJet plane. Oh, look at that. Actually, it wasn't EasyJet, it was Monarch, but Monarch's out of business now. This is very good. And then you've got the viewing area here. Now, when I had my brother-in-law come to visit me, I stood pretty much where those girls are. Watched him get off the plane. But that might be me. Wow, that's pretty accurate. And there's the door. Yep, that is spot on. Now, the car park area. Yeah, again, you see, you would come round this roundabout. Oh, they painted a grid there. Okay. And then you can either go in that car park and pay, or if you just want to pick somebody up, you would come into here, and then you do a little loop around, go there, pick them up, taxis specifically, lots of taxis, and then yeah, pick them up and go. Now these doors here, the arrivals and departures, again, it's just exactly the way it is. That's just how it looks. Welcome to Gibraltar, which is kind of weird to say that on the way out, but anyway, it does say that, I think. Yeah, this is exactly as it looks. Right, so when I checked in, I went up these stairs, and then I had to go, which way? Was it those stairs, or did I go? Oh, I checked in here, and then I think, yeah, I think elevator. Can't remember. This is pretty damn good. And then you have the famous frontier. All politics here, of course. But this, so now you're in Gibraltar. These you've got 4 lanes, 5 now, 6. Wow. It's always been 4 lanes, but maybe they've had it repainted. I've been there. And then you through here, Spain, Gibraltar, Spain, Spanish territory, British territory. And then you would go through here, do the loop here, go past here, and then you're driving home if you work in Gibraltar and you know you live in Spain. That's be taking. This is impressive. Now the old airport is this entire building. It's the old airport. That's all of it. The control tower is the same. I know somebody who used to work in there. You do all your check-ins and everything, it would all be here. And then this place used to be where you would view the planes coming in and out. And then they decided, well, this is too small now. And as you can see, it does look just like a little building. And so they built this. Quite the difference. And then here you've got Rotunda. Does it say it? Yeah, it does. Rotunda Tobacconist. And then this is now a supermarket called Eroski. And the car park at the back. Yes, indeedy. Yep, even the layout of the car park is correct. Wow. Nice touch. My camera's getting a bit wonky. I'm gonna have to go back to the plane. Less. Can it rotate from here? Okay, let's just again. Alright, so let's say we're coming in. Oh, I've noticed that there are some military planes here. We do get these from time to time, occasionally, sometimes even when there's like an air show on. They're not typically here, especially helicopters. There may be one. I've never seen a Chinook here, but you know, it is military, RAF Gibraltar, so it's not out of the question for that to be the case. Yeah, they used to have air shows here once a year, shut down the runway. And Victoria Stadium right here. And it's really well done. I saw Elton John here live because this used to convert into a stadium for music gigs, you know. But it looks, according to this, that you can see straight into it now. It used to be built up, you know, like you would expect a football stadium to be. And then we've got the Cepsa petrol station, Spanish. I don't know whether it's gone back to being Cepsa now or it's still Gib Oil. It could be Cepsa, I believe it. I think it is. I have to double check that, but I think this is Cepsa. Now there's one thing missing that I would really like RDPresets to put in, and that is right here where these trees are. There is a World War II cross. It's a monument, and it's where on Remembrance Day they always lay a wreath of poppies behind here, and it would be very nice if they would include that. So Devil's Tower Road here, and now this is a kind of a housing estate with blocks of flats, but these seem to be all 1 or 2 stories, when in fact they should be kind of like, and the same here. This is Glacis Estate. Again, they should be built up blocks of flats here. Kind of like those in the background, right in the middle of the screen. kind of like those. They're accurate. That's water gardens. That's accurate. But the ones here should be built up, and also here. Tall estate is just like, I don't know, 10 floors maybe. Actually 5 floors here, and then these are higher. But this is Laguna Estate, and that's Glacis. GLACI. So, Devil's Tower Road car park. Nice. This is a recent thing. It's not gated off like this because obviously it's a car park and you need to be able to go in and out. So there are a couple of exits and entrances there for you to get cars in and out. But I understand they can't model every single detail in, so I get that. But yeah, cars allowed on the top and also on every floor. And as you can see, there are cars on all the floors. Nice. Very cool. And as we wander up Devil's Tower Road, this is a new building for me, but it was there when I left. Kind of quite posh apartments actually. But there's also a couple of buildings around this size on this side as well. But they're not there, so. And again, you can see these rocks. They're just kind of a lot of roundy, big bulbousy rocks. Yeah, not really. That's the only thing. I think the biggest letdown from this scenery is the actual rock itself, just the shapes. But in the main, you know, it's not a massive deal. It's a flight simulator after all. We're not on a tourist thing. But there's a lot of potential here to make this better, and because if you look at some of the places that I've pointed out, I mean, they've nailed it. Like the airport, for example, is brilliantly done. Then we have the cemetery here. This is divided up into 2 areas, actually 3, I think. You've got the Jewish part, and then there's the I don't know what it would be, Catholic part, I guess. And suggest my sister buried there. And then at the back, further back, you have the war. Oh, they've even got them. They're all neatly ordered like this. These are the soldiers from World War II, all of these ones. And they're in very neat order. It's not like these where they're all different angles and stuff. They're in a very, very neat order. And as you can see, that's what they've done here. So kudos to that one. Nice. Cranes, always. They weren't there when I left, but there's always cranes there. I remember asking one guy who's a DJ that I used to listen to when I was growing up, and he came to Gibraltar for the air show. And I said to him, what do you think of Gibraltar? And his answer was just perfect. And he said, it'll be nice when it's finished, which I thought was a perfect answer, because there's always, let me just emphasize this, always construction going on somewhere. Always. There's never a time when there's nothing getting built. Something's getting built all the time. So there's the barracks. This is the roundabout going to see. Oh, I think, where am I here? Yeah, I think I've got myself lost, guys. I don't know which direction. Oh, right, okay. I see where we are. Do I? Oh, where am I? How? Get me back onto Devil's Tower Road. Go. There we go. Now I know where I am. Okay. Right, this road. Oh no, that exists. Yeah, that's the back road. This is a bottling plant. All of these built roofs here. And this building there, where the crane is also part of this bottling plant. Same company. And then normally this would be the road to Eastern Beach, but this is different now. These buildings were not here before. But I know they are building in this area, as you can see. And I know that they are definitely doing that in real life. This is a turnaround point, never used to be there before, but it actually is now. And now this is the road to Eastern Beach, and it looks like it's all been fenced off. So this, what you're looking at, this is Eastern Beach. And then you would just drive down here, and the only way back up is to loop round at the bottom. And there's the little roundabout. Wow, so all the buildings that were here must be gone now. Of course, because it's a whole new development that's going up. Getting slightly slanty on the camera again. And I believe this is construction here, but I believe this building, or this block of flats that they were putting here, these might be up already now. And then this is another beach here called Catalan Bay. Probably the most popular beach in Gibraltar. This one. Now there's a lot of trees there. There isn't really that many in reality. There's a few, but there's not that many. But it doesn't look... I'm not looking at that and thinking, God, that's way wrong. I'm not thinking that. It looks okay. It's a fair representation. Because I'm thinking of this in terms of doing, say, like a tour around in a small plane or something. See, here we've got no buildings. That's not going to happen, because from all the way down this road there are buildings and houses and stuff all the way down here. There's no empty area here at all. And this will be representation of both worlds, which is just flats that I guess people retire to. And those places have become very expensive now. And then we go through the tunnel. Oh, they've actually got the tunnel in. Cool. Let's speed this up and get round the other side. So you can't drive here. You're inside the rock now till you come out. Pretty much here. But that's the only one tunnel then. But then there's a nice... But then there is a road here where you can just drive the whole way. That doesn't seem to be modelled in. But there it is. Like these rocks here that I'm looking at, and that gun. I don't think that's there. It's all road. You can see how it looks like these rocks are just kind of stuck on the side there. That's my only gripe about this scenery, apart from two buildings that are sorely missing here. The lighthouse, which has been reduced to that. It's an important building in Gibraltar, Europa Point. It's the southernmost lighthouse in all of Europe. If you still want to count Gibraltar as... And also here, this flat building here, just a texture at the moment. That is a mosque, which looks really nice actually. I think they should put the mosque in, and they should definitely put the lighthouse in. 100%. That needs to go in. It's a landmark in Gibraltar, really. It needs to go in. And this is actually a house, and I know the people who run it, who run that as well. And yeah, there is a little cricket pitch. That's a cricket pitch. But yeah, I would like to see the rock just looked at again, the modelling of the rock. The lighthouse needs to go in, and the mosque. And also up here on the military thing, there's a thing that looks like... It looks like a golf ball, but it isn't. I think it's like a military radar. I'm just trying to find it. Maybe there's a texture. It could be that. But it just sits up here. And if you were doing a tour around Gibraltar in a plane, you know, low altitude, it's a very noticeable object. Now again, if you look here, you've got swimming pools and everything. This looks pretty good. Obviously you don't get roads that are just going vertical like that, but then again, you can't expect perfect scenery. I'm trying not to do that. But the way this road curves around here, that is, to me, that is spot on. That's exactly how it looks, and then you've got the road going down here to the NAFI and the RAF and stuff. Then you have a tunnel here where that car just disappeared. So yeah, that's all spot on, and that tunnel comes out here, and then right there, you can't see it, it's just a big blue splodge. That's actually a waterfall, tiny little waterfall. It's not that wide. But yeah, this swimming pool is there, and they also play volleyball here, and the car park. Yep, that is spot on. And then we have another beach, little bay here. Yeah, this is very, very familiar now. Got ships in, now this is the dockyard. Got ships in dry dock. Flat ones, but at least you've got something there that it'll look right from the air, let's put it that way. I've got ships. Everything looks like it's just sinking just a little bit to the ground. But again, from the air in a plane, this is not going to look too bad. See now here, look, you can see, I'm sorry to harp on about this, but just the way the rocks are kind of almost like blobs of clay that have been put around the top, that's really not how it is. There are a lot of trees. I think they're more greener than brown, but I've got a Seasons add-on running, Bijan Seasons, which may be recoloring the trees, so I don't want to judge that. But it's generally green there. And then we have the cable cars. Now, I want to point out that there are two lines of cable cars, as you can see. It's not necessarily one for up, one for down. They both go in both. They both go in both directions. But you don't get multiples. There's only one cable car per line. So I did ask the developer about this, and they mentioned that they'd added those in multiples on purpose, so that when you're flying around Gibraltar, it's a more visible point of interest. So yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And then they go down to oops. Okay, the cable cars are ending up in the roads. I hadn't noticed this before. The cable car station, this building, should be, see this building here in the car park? That one? That's where the cable cars come in and out. That's where they're housed. That is the fire station. This is the cable car base. This is where the tourists, they pay, they go in, and the cable car takes them up. It's not over here at all. This is a government building. I think they're not going to appreciate that. So yeah, that's the correct shape. This white with the angled roof, that's correct. But it just needs to be made a little bit smaller and put here instead. Right there. That's your cable car. So this would be what used to be the Queen's Cinema, not anymore. It's weird seeing the cable cars here, going into town area. So I guess Main Street? Yeah, I guess this is Main Street. Main Street is narrow, but wow. I don't know how much of the building placement that they've done themselves, but there's meant to be the actual Main Street running through here. And if cars are running the Main Street cars, pedestrianised, but they should all be shops. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much, obviously. I can't be saying that I want it accurate. Okay, so buildings. This is Waterport. I have to say, these buildings are pretty damn close to the original. Like, if I looked at that view, I would instantly recognize that as Water Gardens. No question. Yep, easy. And there's the Sunborn, the boat. and the marina. Now you see those buildings in the middle of the screen there, the white ones with the orange roofs? That is part of that new marina. What's it called? I can't remember the name now. That's accurate. That's a very accurate representation of those buildings, and the marina as well. Yeah, right next to the runway. That's a very accurate representation, as is these buildings. And here you have what we call Gib 5, west side. This is a very reasonable interpretation of that. There's a building missing here which is significant. It looks like another lighthouse. Where is it actually? Yeah, here. This building here with the little knobbly bits on the roof. That's actually a tall glass building that should be there. Very modern glass building. So this building just doesn't exist. And then we go around. Now, this is the bit I have a problem with, because I used to live here. You see these buildings, how high they are? Well, there used to be some. This is this whole square here, right? So from here all the way across and down and around, all of this is harbour views where I used to live. This was where I lived, and these are just as high as those, but these are orange. So please model those in for me, Mr. Developer. I will provide photographs if you want. The North Mole up here and everything here looks fantastic. Nice details here, very nice. And look, the poison factory from this is a oil refinery in can't remember the name of the place. I used to bloody live there. There's a town called Puente Mayorga, and it's just kind of across from there, near Algeciras. And sometimes when the wind blows in the wrong direction, the smell from those chimneys comes over here, and yeah, it's toxic. Horrible. People have campaigned to get rid of this refinery, but it's still there. And as you can see, I don't know if their developers are responsible for that over there, but that's exactly what it looks like. So yeah, camera's tilting. I'm just gonna have to put up with that. So here, down here, we have this building with the one knobbly bit on it, and this one. That's a petrol station in reality. This is a supermarket, Morrison's. That is the new hospital. That's a fair representation, actually, of the hospital. I think it looks a bit whiter than that, but yeah, that's pretty good. Then there's a gap, and those. Now this building here, again, that's another more high-risey block of flats. So there's a lot of flat buildings that should be blocks of flats. Yeah. Same with this one. This is Europort. Again, residential, should be high up. Almost twice as high as this building here. But again, they look flat. But it's just the housing areas, really, the housing estates, that need to be changed. All in all, though, I look at the detail up here. It's cool. Like the radar, that's there. Yep. There are these buildings here as well. It's all military, but yeah. But yes, they are there. Guns, I don't think no, these are probably, if there is any of these left, they're going to be rusty as hell. So these need to be either painted black with a lot of like rust texture on them, because they're certainly not brand new like this. No sir. But yeah, they do still exist, they're just not functional anymore. All in all then, as a scenery, if it's just an initial release, I think it's one hell of a starting base. They've done some of the areas of Gibraltar very, very well, and from a flight simulator point of view, where you would be concentrating on runways and airport and stuff. The airport looks fantastic. Really does. They've done an absolute bang-up job with the airport. Very, very nice. Rusty approves. Very good. Yeah. Oh, is that where the fire station is? I think it actually might be. Oh, yeah. This is, yeah, Royal Air Force Gibraltar. They nailed it. Yep. Every time you cross the runway here in your car, you see this. Yep. Wow. It's almost like I'm standing here. Airport Fire and Rescue Service. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. So the parts that matter, you know, from a flying point of view, that's done. That's in the bag. They've got that nailed. And I think because I have a plane that doesn't have a strobe light, we're not seeing the traffic. So I'm going to switch planes and then I'll be back. Okay, so we're here in the Phoenix. No, we're not. Sorry. We're here in the fly-by-wire A320 with the EasyJet. And you can see no cars on the runway, but they should hopefully be waiting. Normally there's a queue build up here. Now when I first tested this scenery, there was traffic queue build. Okay. So the way to activate the traffic is to turn off the strobe. So, there we have it. They're a bit sunken in, but yeah, one of the rare places in the world where cars and buses do indeed travel across the runway. Now it used to be the case before 9/11. It used to be the case traffic was allowed across the runway while the planes were still taxiing, or if one had just landed and it had gone down to the end of the runway, traffic could move across until the plane was on its way back, and then they'd close the barriers here again. That'll be it. Looks like we actually do have a plane going out. I don't think AI planes are going to stop the traffic. Some cars are above the ground and some not. So again, if I go into the plane and turn on strobe light, putting it onto auto will do nothing. Putting it on, stop the traffic. There's no build. You see the barriers are down, but normally there's traffic build up. Always traffic build up, without a doubt. But that's probably in the hands of the sim itself, and maybe the setting for how many cars you want. So when you go into the configurator before you do the flight, before you load the sim up maybe, then you can pick the plane you're going to be flying, and then the Gibraltar scenery will work based on that plane's strobe light. That's how it's done. And what's amazing here is, I'm going to slow this down a bit. It's just that if I was a person stood in this airport, looking out this window, oh my god, that is such an accurate view. Just trying to get slower. Wow. Yeah, again, these things sticking up over the top of this wouldn't be there. So they need to resculpt a little bit of this. But short of that, this view is very super well done. I mean, if I was in VR, I would swear I was stood in the airport. Yeah, very good job. So I want to thank RDPresets for giving me this review copy. I've been honest. You know, there are really good areas, and there's areas where there's buildings that are not quite right. A couple of buildings that are missing, I think, that should be there. And obviously the sculpting of the rock model, I think, needs a bit of improvement. But other than that, it's so refreshing to see scenery for Gibraltar on this level of details. Very good. Are you just going to catch him? This is a short runway as well. Not every pilot is allowed to come into Gibraltar. Should I stop the traffic with my strobe light? Yeah, I think you have to be qualified in a certain... I don't know. I'm not sure that they only let the best pilots come here and land. I've heard something along those lines anyway. They don't just let any, you know, like a novice, not a novice, but a pilot who's only been flying for like 6 months or a year or something. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to take off. Put my strobe light. Stop the traffic for him. Right, you are now free to go. But he's going to fly based on the real traffic. Oh, they even do have a heat source from the AI planes. Cool. Trying to slow my camera down again. There we go. I don't know. I don't think these have got interiors at all. No. Well, it's about time for you to go, buddy. Yeah, look at that. Those buildings are really well done. Some of the buildings are so recognizable though. Very much so. Great job on the airport. Pieces of beef burger here that have been... No, it's just... yeah. Metal plates, I guess. Are you going? Anyway, there we go. RDPresets Gibraltar available now from their website. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get this. The price is $19.99 in euros. Oh, okay. He decided he's not going anywhere. That's FSLTL for you. Yes, $19.99 with this scenery, and yeah, I think with an update or two it's going to be even better. But right now, I mean, I lived here, so I'm able to sit here and point out, you know, I can be really nitpicky. These stones are here. This is exactly how it is. Yeah, I can be really nitpicky, but it's probably not fair for me to just be so nitpicky. Yeah, all these stones here around the edge, this is exactly how it is. Yeah. This building, they've modeled this bit so well. Like the Water Gardens buildings, the Sunborn yacht, or ship I should say, and the marina. Wow. That looks just like it, man. Where have they got this building from? And the boats, yeah, the boats are right there, just like that. Good job. Good job. I would recommend this. Look at this. Just the scenery here looks fantastic. Yes. RDPresets Gibraltar. Available now. Link below. Take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.